When you program, it's all about manipulating data. But what is data really? Well, data is information that we store in our computer programs. For example, your name is a piece of data, and so is your age, the color of your hair, how many siblings you have, where you live, if you're male or female. All of these things are data. In JavaScript, there's three basic data types. These are numbers, strings, and booleans. Numbers are used for representing numbers. Your age could be represented as a number, and so can your height. Strings are used to represent text. Your name or your email could be represented as a string. And booleans are values that can be true or false. So a boolean value about you would be whether you wear glasses or whether you like Brussels sprouts or something like that. There are different ways to work with each data type. For instance, when you have numbers, you could multiply them together, but you can't multiply two strings together. With a string, however, you could ask for the first 5 characters or something like that. And with booleans, you can check to see whether two values are both true. So let's look at some examples of how we can create each of these. I'm going to be working in my console window to be able to show you this. So let's take a look at how JavaScript allows us to work with numbers and operators. JavaScript allows us to perform basic mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. To make these calculations, we use the following symbols: plus for addition, minus for subtraction, asterisk for multiplication, and a / for division. These things are called operators, and we can use the JavaScript console just like a calculator. We've already seen some of that, and I showed you how you could do a simple operation like add two numbers together, and then when I hit enter or return, it's going to give me the resulting value. Well, obviously you can do something that's much more difficult. So if I wrote a value like this, which is clearly a much longer number, and hit return, it's going to output the resulting answer for me. So the console is able to do these sorts of calculations in no time at all. And you can use any of the other symbols that I just showed you to multiply, divide, or subtract numbers. Sometimes you'll want to combine operations and make something more complex. I'm going to write a more complex equation in the console. So here I have 1,234 plus 57 times 3 minus 31 divided by 4. The results can be a little tricky here because the result of this calculation is going to depend on the order in which JavaScript is going to do each operation. In math, the rule is that we would always perform the multiplication and the division before we do the addition and subtraction. JavaScript also follows that same rule. So in this particular equation, 57 is going to be multiplied by 3, and then 31 is going to be divided by 4, and then the resulting numbers that we're going to get from the multiplication here is going to be added to 1,234, and then whatever the answer from that is going to subtract whatever the result is of 31 divided by 4. So if I go ahead and hit return, it's going to give us the answer, which is 1,397.25. I just want to point this out to you because I want you to understand the order of the operations: multiplication, division, addition, and then subtraction. In some instances, you may want to do the addition and the subtraction first before doing the multiplication and division. So let's say that you had some candy, and let's say you have one sister and 3 brothers, and you have 8 candies, and you want to be able to split the candies equally among your 4 siblings. You would have to divide 8 by the number of siblings. So if you were writing that out, you might write 8 divided by, and then you have 1 sister plus 3 brothers. So the result of this particular calculation, if we write it out like this, is going to give us a resulting value of 11. And we know that can't be right because we only have 8 candies. We can't give away 11 when we are only started with 8. So the problem is that JavaScript is doing the division prior to doing the addition. So when it divides 8 by 1, that's 8, and then it adds 3, which gives us 11. To fix that and make JavaScript perform this in the way that we want, we use parentheses, just like we would do in regular math. So I would put 8 divided by, and then in parentheses I can type 1 plus 3, and now it's going to perform this bit of the calculation first and then do the division. So our resulting answer should be 2, which it is. You can see here that the parentheses force JavaScript to add 1 and 3 before dividing 8 by the resulting value, which is 4. So knowing the order of operations when you're dealing with numbers is going to be very important when utilizing JavaScript.